Now let's talk about the newest one that's dropping this Friday in theaters, F9. On the poster and on IMDb, it says F9 The Fast Saga, but on the movie, it said F9 at the end, and like that's the official title. So I'm just going to call it F9. So F9 is the ninth installment of this franchise. It is so weird to see where this movie started and where it's at now. And it has grown up to be a crazy person. That is what's happened. Hey, the first one was a very innocent street racing movie. Hey, cop infiltrates street racing circle, see what's up, what's going on. And now we're shooting Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson into space. What happened? We missed a lot of steps there. Maybe we didn't. Maybe it has evolutionized perfectly. But it is absolute insanity to see where it's at now and where it started. But before I get into the review, I thought it was really funny when I was at the screening for this movie. So usually the reps, they come out, they introduce the movie, thank you for coming, embargo, the spiel that they always have, right? They're very, very awesome people that work really hard to put these screenings together, so I really appreciate them inviting me for sure. It's really funny for this one. She introduced it and she was like, thank you for coming. Just leave logic at the door. And that was about it. And then she walked off, and I thought it was just chef's kiss. It was just beautiful. Perfect. We all know what we're getting ourselves into. We all know what this movie is. Is it as fun as the others? That's the question. I don't even need to dive into specifics because we know what this movie is. But I'll dive into specifics anyways. The plot goes as follows. Cypher enlists the help of Jacob, Dom's younger brother, to take revenge on Dom and his team. Cypher, played by Charlize Theron, and Jacob, Dom's younger brother, played by John Cena. So Charlize is not the newest addition. She was in Fate. John Cena is the newest addition to this franchise. As far as the story goes, let's just get all the boring stuff out of the way. As far as the actual story goes, and the relationship between Dom and his brother, it's fine. I do appreciate director Justin Lin taking somewhat of a serious route and like trying to establish like some serious drama between them two and their family and just their history and just how gray zoned it is. It's not this black and white situation. Like they were all people with fault. Like I appreciated that. It just pads out in between action sequences, but they were trying something different. I think what is the real problem, though, is Vin and John's acting capabilities. I've seen Vin do drama. He's suitable. I've seen John Cena do comedy for the most part, which I think he's pretty great at. When he does the drama stuff, it can kind of go either way. I've never seen him be really great or good. Never really seen him be absolutely terrible. Just like, he's either fine to slightly bad each time. I think the problem with prompting up this really like kind of serious like family storyline, there's your first family reference. Trust me, they have a lot of lines doing that. So you will, if you see this movie, you're not going to be starving for a family line. They have it all over the place. Make it a drinking game. You'll probably not survive. But their acting capabilities for these scenes just don't work. Now, in terms of carrying a physical performance, performing these stunts, doing this and that, they're great at it. That's what they do. I mean, Cena comes from the world of WWE, which is all acting, but it's also physical as well. It's physical acting, and he's fantastic at it. Vin does the same thing. He's great at the physical stuff. They sell that stuff. I have no issue with that. It's more of like the conversations they have between one another and the grudge that they hold and the family history and even the flashbacks with like the younger Vin and the younger John, which by the way, the actor that plays young Vin is probably the best resemblance. The actor that plays young John Cena looks nothing like him. Sounds nothing like him. It's just bizarre. But I just thought all those scenes just didn't really work. In terms of pulling out like that drama that they were going for and making it feel like it has a little bit more emotional heft than the previous installments. I appreciate the swing of the fences and trying, but their acting capabilities and their range doesn't match. So they're both just kind of like neutral acting against each other, and it's not selling me on that drama. So that's honestly like the biggest like movie complaint, like review complaint that I have on it, because I think that's a legit thing. Because it's a huge part of the movie are these like flashbacks and just the family drama. It's a huge thing. So I just want to point that out. I just don't think their acting capabilities really kind of match well with the situation that their characters are going through and the dialogue that they're saying. Like some of it's goofy, but when they're getting down to some of the, like, I hate you line, or, why did you do this to dad? Like, some of that stuff can seem a little corny when they deliver it. But that's honestly my only complaint. So in terms of that storyline, cool, fine. Everyone else's characters, it's the same stuff we've seen. So now let's get into the good stuff. So how are the action sequences? Great. Pure bombastic insanity, absolute lunacy that I just love. I love it. I love it. I love the whole addition of the magnetic force that's in the back of these cars, like pulling cars from the streets and flying at these tanks and stuff. I love the absurdity of, this is in the trailer, of like Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez's character in a car. He goes off this cliff and the rope attaches to his tire and they swing across. Give it to me all day, every day. I love it. And what I think is really great about this one in particular is that they are self-aware at this point. They're making like lines, bits of dialogue. They're poking fun at themselves. That's insane to me. So I really like that, the kind of self-awareness. They realize that they're goofy as hell, but they're doing it anyways. And yes, the joke about them, oh, they're going to go to space next. It happens. Yeah, that was pretty bizarre to see. And I think just hearing people laugh in the audience just made the experience even more enjoyable. And so I really appreciate people just embracing the fact that this franchise knows what it is. We know what it is. We're not seeing high art here. But my God, if you're going to push the absurdity envelope, go for it. I want you to go like even crank it up to a 20 out of 10. Like right now you're at an 11. I want you to, if you're going to make 2 more of these, which you said you are, please just go all out now. Go to Mars next. Go to a different dimension. I don't even care at this point. But I do think that the stunt work and the actual action sequences are pretty awesome to watch. And there is a lot of work that goes into these things. They released that clip of the car shooting through the building and the camera follows it and it's being pulled by the magnet. That was a practical effect. Yes, there's some elements of CG, but for the most part, that was a practical car that they shot through a section of a building that they built. That's cool. So I like the fact that they do some practical stuff here. Some of it's CGI for obvious reasons, space, and definitely like the end crash, which was super goofy when Vin does like a superhero pose on the ground and like it cuts to him from behind and there's fire in front of him. Great shot. Put that on a poster. But yeah, for the most part, there are CGI sequences, but I do appreciate the hand-to-hand stuff, the combat, the choreography, and some of the practical stuff with the cars. Like I said, that's all well thought out, and those deliver every single time, and that is the crux of these movies. So as long as you can deliver on those, then you're fine. As far as me ranking this one in terms of like where it kind of lies, maybe somewhere in the middle. Maybe like my 4th favorite, maybe 5th favorite. It's not something I'm going to want to rewatch again, unfortunately. versus like a Furious 7 or a Fast 5 or even the first two, first three even. I like rewatching those. But this one was a movie in the moment that happened. I enjoyed it. And that's about it. Like I think that's another ding on this movie too. I think the rewatchability, just like with the Fate of the Furious, I have no desire to watch this one again. If someone wants to watch all 9 of them back to back, invite me over. I'll bring some drinks. I will be there in a heartbeat. But in terms of rewatchability for this one, I don't think this one hits the mark. So it would kind of like lie in the middle for me in terms of my personal favorites. But I still think it's an enjoyable watch. You know what you're getting yourself into. I don't need to explain anymore. I'm excited to see 10 and 11. Let's do this. So that is my review of F9. Let me know down below what you think of the movie when you see it. And just, am I crazy? Let me know if I'm crazy. Do you like these movies? Do you hate these movies? Just let me know down below. And yeah. So that will do it for this review of F9. And yeah, had a lot of fun with it. So I can't wait for 10 and 11. So there you go.